For the last 2 years, Brexit has been at the center of European politics. For people from outside the UK like me looking in, the whole thing seems quite confusing, messy, almost like a mistake. But do the people here feel the same? I've come to the border between England on the one hand and Wales on the other to talk to people to hear what they really think about Brexit.
It was time to hit the road and head to the nearest town.
So we're now driving around Chester. This is a city of about 100,000 people, very close to the border with Wales. In 2016, they voted to leave the EU, but by a very thin margin. It was only 50.7% of the people here who voted to leave against the rest who voted to remain. So we're trying to find people from both sides.
There may not be much festive cheer in Westminster right now, but that hasn't dampened spirits at Chester's traditional Christmas market. Stall owner Jackie voted leave 2 years ago and still passionately believes it was the right choice.
So you voted to leave
Yes.
the EU?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't like the politics, I don't like the unelected people telling us what we can and can't do, who we can trade with, who we can't trade with, how much money we're just giving them money after money after money, and it seems like, to me, we're not getting what we pay for.
The chef working next to Jackie doesn't regret voting for Brexit either.
You still think that was the right choice?
Well, a lot of the British public believe it was, because otherwise they wouldn't have voted to leave. So yeah, I would go for that.
So you have no regret?
No. I think it'll grow the economy.
That's not what the Bank of England says. They say that the economy will be worse off.
Well, they do the scaremonger.
So far, all the people I spoke to all seem to be in favor of Brexit. They don't really care about what's going to happen in Westminster next week. And they all seem to believe that the UK will be better off after it leaves the EU. But I'm still going to try to find somebody who's in favor of remaining within the EU.
I set out for a place where people practiced a hobby I had rarely heard of and where I was told I could find remainers. That's right, line dancing. It might not catch on across the channel, but they seemed happy to answer my questions.
If you don't mind me asking, could I ask all of you here to raise your hand if you voted in favor of Brexit? And amongst those who lifted their hands, who still believes it was the right choice? So you voted to remain, but you respect the people's choice of leaving.
Yes.
Despite how the negotiations went, despite everything that happened.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You think it's a good deal?
No, we've got no options. We have to go with it.
For these line dancers, no matter how hard Brexit has been, no one I spoke to had changed their minds. The EU-UK divorce has obviously divided Britain along many lines, and it's the younger generations like swimming instructor Charlotte who have the deepest concerns about what the future might hold.
Obviously, the import rates won't be very good, loss of jobs and unemployment rates will skyrocket, trading won't happen, and I just don't think that there's a lot of positives that will come out of it other than we're just going to be a standalone country.
Wales, like England, voted to leave the EU. Continuing my trip along the border, I wanted to know if Welsh voters felt Brexit was heading in the right direction. As the night drew in, disagreeing on Brexit over a pint still seemed to be a national pastime on both sides of the border.
That was the big thing, was immigration. Not that I'm anti-immigrants or anything like that, but I just thought there was just too many. And it was driving down wages and making people in this country poorer. So I believed in it. And now, Theresa May, she's got this deal, and it's a halfway house.
Well, now as people are beginning to think, well, hang on, what else was we told? What was going to... The NHS was going to get another 300 million a week? Rubbish. Never happened. Never happened, never will.
The Brexiteers around this table now seem to accept that there will be a short-term economic hit, but they maintain Brexit is still the right decision in the long run.
I think it's going to be hard to start with,
Yeah,
but I think eventually...
I think for the next 2 years, once
Yeah,
we're
it's
out,
gonna
the
be
next
tough.
couple of years, it's going to be really hard. But then I think we'll gather our wits and we'll be able to do, just as we were before we went in the European Union.
Brexiteers and Remainers across the UK have failed to build much common ground in the 2 years since the referendum, except for a feeling that the Brexit deal on the table is not the one they wanted.